How you doing? I apologize for being late. I'm a full-time paramedic, and so I work at night. So I worked last night, had a really rough shift, so that's no excuse. Like I said, my name is Dale DeBoer. I'm with the Kingsport Lifesaving crew. I'm also with Green Springs Volunteer Fire Department as a firefighter paramedic. I do a little this, little that all over the place. I'm a public safety diver, so I do recoveries in all 7 counties of Northeast Tennessee and in Washington County, Virginia. So if you don't wear your life jacket on your boat, I might come visit you. But I'll talk a little bit about the Lifesaving crew. Lifesaving crew has been around for years. The crew has been in operation since 1948. One of the first rescue squads in the state. We're with second in the nation. The initial purpose was to promote care of the sick and injured to the greater Kingsport area. So how are we funded? We're funded by the United Way partially. We're funded by independent donations, which is primarily how we get our resources. We do a yearly mail out that's zip code generated, which helps quite a bit. It's declining somewhat, and we get funding from the Sutherland County Commission. So what calls do we respond to? Well, we respond to every and any call you can think of. If you call 911 and you need a response and it's within our scope of practice, we will be there. So the water rose and fishermen is stuck. Actually, we get quite a few of these up by Bluff City where people are in their canoes and kayaks, get stuck on the sandbars. We'd be where they're around 2 o'clock in the morning, plucking you off the sandbar. He's choking, not breathing, in shot. So it's just a plethora of, your baby's not breathing. That's one I do not like to go to, but they happen. My friend never surfaced while swimming at the lake. That's my job. Hikers lost in the mountain. This happens quite a bit. Recently at Bays Mountain and recently up there by 421 just past Storm Marina. We have hikers get lost all the time. Apparently it's easy to get in, but it's really difficult to get back out. So we'll come find you. You need lighting for a crime scene. We have all sorts of additional resources that we can provide scene lighting and assistance. We come out if you have a tractor trailer that's wrecked, car's wrecked, a farm tractor is rolled over. We have different courses that we go to train. We train to do school bus extrications. School bus is probably one of the toughest vehicles you'll ever see. We go to farm tractor courses to teach us how to get you off of an implement, because all these implements are extremely heavy. So you have to a lot of additional training to get somebody out from under that would cause any additional damage to you or your crew. A worker stuck in a trench. Not so much anymore with the guidelines that they have to use while they dig these trenches, but they do get trench collapses, and we have an actual crew that does this. Your house on fire, we have some that are firefighters, we have some that we come out and just do standbys, we have crewettes that provide food and beverages and assistance to people through a rehab trailer. We bring people to places for show and tell and information. Usually they're not late like me, but we do that quite a bit. We do there's a children's program at Eastman used to do every year. We take a truck down there and we'll actually have wings come and land, and we'll do a presentation there. We do standbys for motorcycle races. We do standbys for Fun Fest. We do standbys for anything within the county. We do anything, anytime, anywhere. So today, though, the focus is more towards special rescue functions. That's primarily what we focus on now. We train constantly on how to rescue people from different situations, primarily from vehicles. There seems to be a lot more vehicle accidents today. So we actually provide training either every other month or every 3 months. We'll go to the junkyard, we'll spend all day long with our fancy tools, practice cutting people out of cars in different configurations and in different scenarios. Has anybody ever been cut out of a car before? Good, keep it that way. We're one of the most dynamic rescue teams in the nation. We have an extensive amount of equipment, we have extensive amount of training. We are probably one of the premier and foremost rescue teams in the country. There's a lot of teams that have actually come up to our level, just because we try to strive to be proficient in what we do all time, every time. You cannot have a mistake in my business. If you have a mistake in my business, it does not end well. We have specific trucks, and I'll speak someday, specific trucks and equipment for each type of emergency. So I don't know if you've been by the crew down here, and you're more welcome to stop anytime. If nobody's there, you can call and somebody will come down there. And so what we'll do is give you a little tour, but we have an extensive fleet of equipment. We also do standbys up here at Kingsport Speedway. So we have a couple gators who provide support for the track. If there's an accident, I'm a paramedic, so I want you to tend to the driver. Most members are experienced in more than one type of rescue. I have a pretty proficient resume of courses and training, and we're trying to find people who want to come up through the rescue world in today's day and age. It was kind of difficult to get people to volunteer and to try to follow in our footsteps. So a lot of us older guys are still doing it just like we were when we first got there, and we would like to get some young people in. Experience makes Kingsport Lifesaving crew more versatile in any emergency situation. The more experience you have, the more proficient you are, the more calm you are, the easier you are to think through what you need to do. So we do high angle rescue, which is if you get, for some reason you want to click your balloon off of the light pole outside and you get stuck, we'll come get you. Maybe. We may leave you there until the media shows up. We do confined space. That is a specialty in itself right there. So if this building collapses, we can actually come in and search for you. We do trench, as I said earlier, building collapse, farm accidents. We do cave. We have a cave crew. We have a dive team, which is mine, which is what I train and I'm on. We have swift water. So if your fishing boat goes over in the river, we'll come and try to find you. So that's a skill in itself. We have a search team. So what different types of, here's some motor vehicle accidents, tractor trailer accidents. So that's what we responded to. That's in Virginia there, just across the line. So it's a vehicle extrication. We have special tools. I don't know if you've seen the Jaws for Life on TV or had personal information with them. But this right here is a ram, and they popped this door, peeled it back. A lot of times we'll take the tops off the car like we did here for patient access. Our main goal in this is patient access. So we need to remove or move whatever we can in the most expeditious time to get our patient out. So your car will probably be totaled after we're done with it. There's another pole or a car on a light pole rather. Rollover. This one here is just right down the road. That's where we just take the top off of patient access. That was Medic 4, Southern County EMS. I don't drive that bad, but I'm pretty close. Big truck wreck. And this gentleman walked away from this. So they are designed well. I drove for United Van Lines for 10 years as an owner-operator, so I can kind of vouch for these are pretty well made. They don't look like it. Another one on the side. Here's some for on trench and confined space. If I'm going too fast, let me know. I'm known to kind of ramble and just keep mumbling. That's a vehicle in a trench right there. That's an additional hazard right there. That's how my wife drives. That right there is an actual gentleman stuck right here. Industrial accidents, high angle rescue. So that's climbing up to the top of a crane, and they'll actually rig it up and bring you down, just like that. So that's a volunteer there. So I'm sure that's something you don't get in Dollywood right there. This is actually a special kind of what we call a sled, and you roll it up around the patient, and you can actually slide them on the ground, slide them through the slope, slide them down the tank, just slide them everywhere. They're really nice. All right, there's a horse that got stuck. That's cutting some machinery away to get a hold of somebody. So this right here is lifting this Jersey barrier block with just an A-frame and a rope. There's a lot of people smarter than me that figure some of this stuff out. Building your apparatus for wall stabilization. And I don't remember where this one was done. This was done quite a few years ago. Some of the older buildings, they'll intentionally demolish parts of them so we can train in them. Confined space. All right, this is my cup of tea right here, water rescues. This is swift water. And so what we do is we go over to Washington County, excuse me, to a campground that has a big rock in it. We call it Big Rock. And so what we do is we actually have people get in this water and be a victim and come down the water column, and we actually practice rescuing you. There's our lovely victim. And what we'll do is we'll have people with ropes upstream and downstream in case somebody does get past the rescue scenario, so we can rescue our rescuers. This was on a body recovery in Morristown. And now right there's Jerry Hall. Y'all familiar with Jerry Hall's world record dive up at Laurel Marina? Well, that's him right there, with my lovely vehicle in the background. That is us training off at Duck Island, out there at Warriors, which is a great place to do so. That's us in the water, and that's our pontoon boat in the back. This is our ROV. So we have an ROV just so when we do have a drowning and we have a basic of a last point scene, what we can do is we can launch this to get a visual confirmation of where the individual is, and then we'll attach to it with the little hooks in the front, and then we can have a diver follow the tether down and recover them. Just a fantastic asset. Search and rescue and cave. So we do this quite a bit up at bays. Bunch of fine lads right there. We actually do use working dogs from Black Diamond. They have cadaver dogs, and they actually have searched animals. I did a recovery at Laurel Bed Marina in Virginia where a cadaver dog actually helped locate the individual in the water. This other bays. And now right there's a rescue disaster right there. 2 crew members on an ATV. That's the victim. So how we're trained, we go to national classes, we have self-certified instructors going through those classes. We'll come back and we'll train our crew in-house. We have full instructor ratings on our training, so we just don't have somebody who went through a class do the training. All of our trainings are certified instructors. Through national recognized authorities, through PADI, through our diving, through the Firefighting Association, such for our certifications. We do have authors so where do we respond? Anytime, anywhere, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. A lot of our guys do this on holidays, family functions. I don't know how many times I missed, but my wife's great about it. She knows what I do, why I do it. So if I get up and go, she pats me on the head. Sometimes she'll have to push me out the door. So there is no next time. We have no timeouts, and there is no second chances. So we have to be on our game at all time, every time. So that's a pretty high level of responsibility to have, and it's a pretty stressful environment. So some of us have a pretty unique sense of humor to cope with what we do. So I know that was relatively quick. I know I was late. I've messed your party up. And so, but do you have any questions for me? Yes.